Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SalvationsElite, and we are back with another video, guys. And today, man, we're going through all of Rostermania. As you guys can tell, we're finally wrapping up most of Rostermania at this point. We don't have all the official announcements from all the franchising teams at this point, so there will be still a little bit of news leaking in and out the next few weeks. But we've got most of it right now, and we have a pretty freaking good idea of where most of the players are going and where all the big names are headed for all these starting lineups. So we're going to go through every single roster today, dissect it a little bit, and talk about it all. We have a handful of the official brand announcements as well. Seattle officially announced a roster, Dallas officially announced a roster. We've had quite a few official roster announcements at this point. And also, real quick shout out to all of you guys for the community tournament. Again, the community tournament was a huge success. The community championships was a huge success. And if you guys haven't had a chance to go check out the highlight video for the community championships, I highly recommend that. Real quick, let's play a clip. Boom, right here.
Guys, Sworn enemies up now 50-0 in this first map. Big time plays from Sworn enemies as a squad. Oh my goodness, Scan's doing them dirty with a two-piece.
All right, anyway, so again, I really appreciate all the support on that one. The first community tournament's going to be pretty wild for Modern Warfare. We're aiming for like the first few weeks of Modern Warfare to put on a community tournament, and we're aiming for it to be Xbox versus PS4. Hopefully that works out. But with that said, guys, finally, let's get into the video. Let's do this. Boy, oh boy. All right, boys. Where do we start? Here we go. Let's just start with the newly announced New York Subliners. The New York Subliners is the New York team, obviously, and their team was recently announced. This is their starting lineup right now. It's Temp, Zoomaa, Attach, Accuracy, and Zero. Right now, as announced this week, one of their substitutes is Doug Sensor Martin. So most of the starting lineups are already announced already, or basically confirmed, or the rumors are totally solid. But we're still waiting on a handful of substitutes from a lot of teams right now. But that's what we got so far. 6 players for the New York Subliners. And also, of course, real quick, shout out to CDL Intel on Twitter, because he puts together most of this information. He's well connected in the Call of Duty scene, and he's had a lot of this news. And of course, Reddit as well, Twitter. They make the news. That's how we find our information, and we're connected. And we're connected a little bit ourselves, but for the most part, this is where we get all of our stuff. Next up is Toronto. So again, right now the starting lineup for them, for the most part, it's all rumored right now, except for their coaches and their general manager, which is Wisdom and Marquee B. Toronto's lineup right now is Methods, Looney, Brack, Metals, and Lucky, with the other guys on the roster as Kleenex, Classic, Cammy, Bance, and Mayhem. So again, an interesting lineup. None of it's officially announced yet, but we're pretty sure that's what that one is for Toronto. You know, the names don't come off as like the most dominant of names, but their team could be pretty competitive, I think, throughout the year, especially if Methods can return to his World War II form. So the next team is the Paris team, which we talked about in a previous video, but they've been officially confirmed so far. At least 7 of them have been confirmed so far. And so that is Zed, Denz, Luca, Breezy, Kismet, Phantoms, and Shock. So we got that full lineup there. Again, an interesting team because there's a lot of connections there, different pieces put together. We'll have to see how that team performs. Right now, you got to slot them in the lower tier of teams. Next team is COD Minnesota, which is basically almost officially announced. They're not officially announced yet, but Roker is going to be their name. Basically, it's like a Viking name for like Twilight or something. But I kind of dig the name. So anyway, their starting lineup right now, they have 4 officially confirmed, which is Assault, Silly, GodRx, and Alex. And right now the 5th is rumored to be a Sim, which I think is going to be pretty likely to happen. Not officially confirmed yet, but that's where we're at right now. I think a Sim should be the 5th. Their coach is Brian Saint, and general manager is Brian Saint as well. So their roster is really interesting. I actually kind of like it. I really like GodRx. He was really underrated in Black Ops 4. And then Alex, Silly, Assault. I think Assault can really return to his COD World War II form with a little bit slower paced game in Modern Warfare compared to Black Ops 4. And Silly, I think, is a great player still. Alex and Sim are really interesting as well. So I think that team's going to be pretty solid. They're going to be a top half team, I think. A really competitive team year long. And next up is Florida. Right now, the rumored roster is a little shaky. It's one of the more shaky rosters out of all of them right now. But we got Mox, Skies, Frosty, Havoc, and then rumored Priestahh. Priestahh's kind of been an influx guy right now. Not exactly sure where he's going to end up, but Florida seems like the most likely destination at this point. So that's where we're at with Florida right now. So the next branded team that we actually officially know for sure is the London Royal Ravens. And they've announced their full starting lineup. They've got Wuskins, Skrapz, Dylan, Jerd, and Rated, which is a really interesting squad. And if we go back to like World War II, they were nasty and all of them were really good. So they have high potential in this game. They're one of the more interesting rosters with that kind of influx and range of outcomes for them as a team. And I think they could be really solid. I think right now, I'm not going to put them in the top 5, but they're probably in that 6, 7, 8 category. So one of the more quiet teams this season has been the LA Guerrillas, which has been the confirmed team now. They are the other LA team besides OpTic / Immortals in LA. They're the Kroenke ownership, the LA Rams ownership. And right now that rumored roster is Aches' squad. So it's Aches, Decimate, Aqua, Saints, and Blast, which is a kind of a weird team. Again, my expectations would be a little bit lower for this squad, probably in the bottom third of teams right now, because they're guys that have been inconsistent at best in the more recent Call of Duties. This team's really banking on Aches having a bounce back year, back to like more consistent World War II form. But even in World War II, he was really only great for COD champs, and even then it wasn't like fantastic. So I don't know. The perspective right now for the Guerrillas is interesting. I wouldn't be that hyped for them as a team right now. We'll have to see who they end up having subs as. Maybe they're one of those teams that could utilize the substitute option pretty well and maybe surprise some people, but my expectations are pretty low right now. Oh baby, the next official team, the Dallas Empire. I really like the branding. I think it's a perfect branding for them. It like fits those guys that are on their team as well. I really like the branding a lot. And their lineup's really nice, man. Right now they're slated out as Hook, Crimsix, Clayster, Illy, and Shotzzy's. They've got 3 young guns with the 2 old veterans, and they're gonna be a really fun team to watch. I mean, Clayster goes from playing with a few young guys on his squad at United, of course, now playing with a lot of young guys here on Dallas. I really like this team. I know that the expectations are kind of inconsistent with this team based off some of these guys' unproven careers, obviously, and with how Crim played last year, the expectations are a little bit lower than I think that should be. I think in Modern Warfare, this team's going to be really nice, and I'm excited to see how it plays, especially like if there's more new game modes to learn. Like if we're not, let's say for example, we're not playing CTF and we're not playing like Hardpoint, there could be a lot of switch ups in this game, and that's probably for another video. But I like this team. I think it's a top 5 team for sure, and I'm excited to see what they can do in this league. The Atlanta squad is up next. So this rumored team name is actually really interesting. It's the Atlanta Faze. Unlike OpTic, who had to get rid of all of their teams to name themselves OpTic because they're not like an organization anymore, Atlanta is going to name themselves Faze because Faze Clan is the actual name. The capital F and capital Z, Faze Clan. Apparently different enough from F-A-Z-E, not capitalized, that they can be the Atlanta Faze. So that's the rumored like name for these guys, and their team's really fun. They've got rumored right now Simp, Abizi, Celium, Priestahh, and Major Maniac, which is a really fun squad. Again, I think a top 5 squad for sure. And right now their coaches are sitting at Crowder, RJ, and Easy Mac as an analyst. So it's like, I think this team with those coaches, with that core as a whole, is going to be really fun. I'm excited to see what this team can do. It's going to be interesting though, because these guys were all like Black Ops 4 gods, and so we'll see how it plays in a new Call of Duty and a Modern Warfare style game. A little bit slower than like Black Ops 4. I'm interested to see how it'll be. I'm not convinced that they're going to be as dominant as some people think they're going to be, but I think they're a top 4 team, probably like 4th right now, and I'm really pumped to see what they can do. So the last teams are kind of the OpTic related teams, and the first is LA OpTic. Right now, with the whole like weird Dashy controversy, but right now it's going to be LA OpTic. Of course, the owners are Immortals, and their squad right now rumored, again, not announced, but rumored, is Dashy, TJ, Slasher, Kenny, and JCap, which is a really solid squad. I mean, you have 2 of the top probably 5 or 6 players in Call of Duty last year on this team with Dashy and Slasher, and you've got some really good players in TJ and Kenny, and you got another veteran leader in JCap, who of course last year wasn't that good, but maybe on a slower game he can rebound like on Modern Warfare. I don't know, man. This team's gonna be really good. I have them as a top 3 team for sure, but who knows, something could change. There was those rumors of the potential trades with like Chicago, and I think they might have ironed it out by now. But the whole like Dashy potential controversy there was really weird, with how the rumor was that he was trying to get traded to Chicago and everything else. I don't know. But at the end of the day, if that right now, that's the currently rumored roster, I'm pretty confident that's what it's going to end up being. And I really like that squad as a whole. So the final 2 squads, let's go with Seattle here. Seattle's a really fun team as well. Their branding apparently is going to be announced on the 30th. But right now, their confirmed roster, which they just announced today, is Enable, Octane, Slacked, Karma, and Apathy. And in a game like Modern Warfare, I really like this team a lot. I think it's being a little underestimated because statistically, Enable, Slacked, and Karma weren't that great, but they have the best AR in Octane, who was one of the best ARs in World War II and the best by far AR in Black Ops 4. And I think Octane's still going to be nasty, especially depending on what guns end up being the best guns for Modern Warfare. I think he's going to be really, really good. And I think in a game like Modern Warfare, where we might not be playing hardpoint, and we're probably going to be playing CTF again, we don't have control now, a much slower paced game, I really believe Apathy, Karma, and Enable are going to be really, really good. I mean, Slacked, he's solid for sure. And again, Octane's an absolute monster. So I think the team's a top 3 team as well. Really, really, really good. I'm excited for Seattle. Then the final team of the CDL season, out of the starting 5 at least, is the Chicago team. I'm pumped for this team. I think the team's going to be really, really fun, man. Scump, Formal, Envoy, Arcities, Gunless. There's some potential for some problems, but again, Formal and Gunless have been buddies. The whole LG thing was a little weird, but I think they're fine through that, and I really, really like these guys. I mean, Scump and Formal, T2P's back. These guys are all so individually talented. Arcities was so good at the end of Black Ops 4. I mean, it showed as a team. United obviously leveled up, and Arcities was a big reason why. And Envoy was literally one of the top 5 players of Black Ops 4 all of last season on Gen G. Gunless, though not having an incredible year last year, statistically was still really, really good in Black Ops 4 and is still one of the most individually talented players in Call of Duty. And then you got Scump and Formal, 2 of the winningest players in Call of Duty history. And I think this team deserves to be the favorite going into Black Ops 4 based off the individual talent. Though as a starting 5, they've never really played together. Only Scump and Formal and Gunless individually have played together in those 2 different times. But I really, really like this squad, and they're my favorite going into Modern Warfare. So that is it with all the squads so far. More news can be coming out. We're still waiting on about half the rosters to be confirmed. Based off the rumors, we're pretty dead set solid that these are the starting 5s for almost every single one of these teams. And then we're just waiting on the substitutes to be named for most of the teams. So at the end of the day, guys, man, there's so much to go through. We're waiting on a lot still, but that's what it is right now heading into Modern Warfare. Again, guys, man, Modern Warfare is going to be wild. These next 2 days, I'm going to be preparing a lot of videos for the hype that is Modern Warfare this upcoming weekend and the following weeks to come. The one video that I'm hoping to get out before Modern Warfare is a conversation with my MLG tournament director boss. He was excited to come on and talk about MLG and talk about Call of Duty and talk about professional Call of Duty and reffing and working with Major League Gaming and then the future of the franchise league. So I think that's gonna be a really fun conversation. We're gonna be doing that in the next few days, hopefully, and maybe get it out before Modern Warfare comes out. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. I've been live streaming a lot on Twitch, so come hang out. We've been playing Modern Warfare Remastered GBs just to get ready for Modern Warfare, and I've been really, really enjoying myself. The streams have been really fun for all of you guys who've been tuning out, and I cannot emphasize how much the support means to me. So as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we'll see you next time. I'm out.